crucial conversations. So, as the head of HR, and as a coach, and as the EVP of a company, and as somebody who was in sales for years, and who ran a department in sales, I have had a lot of crucial conversations. I don't like them, nobody likes them, but the bottom line, and I will read this sentence verbatim, the conversations that you do not have are often more damaging than the conversations that you do have. I am going to repeat that. The conversations that you do not have are often more damaging than the conversations that you do have. If you are going to be a mentor, you cannot sugarcoat everything. You are not going to help people if you only tell them what they want to hear. If somebody is not doing something right, or somebody is doing something that's going to damage them, if you do not tell them, you can hurt them more than telling them. You've got to tell them. It's almost like the person who you don't tell all along that something is wrong, and then they're blindsided when things don't work out for them. So feel that you're doing the right thing by having those crucial conversations. They're difficult, but they're important. So crucial conversations, think of them as helping conversations and don't think of them as damaging conversations. You're really being somebody's helper. The rip off the Band-Aid, my favorite method, I am who I am. Tip the scales. The tip the scales method is when I'm preparing, I've got my positive information about the person and I've got my negative information about the person. I usually do the positive information first, then I rip off the Band-Aid. You know what? Some people need that, and that's okay. If I know somebody needs that, then that's part of being an effective mentor, and that's part of being an effective HR person, that's part of being an effective coach. It's sometimes being part of being an effective mom, or human being, or friend, or whatever it is. You got to know your audience. So that's also part of, getting your mentor muscle. The sandwich. I love the sandwich. The sandwich is tricky. The sandwich is positive, rip off the Band-Aid, and then for the faint of heart, you got to put some positive on top of it. That's the sandwich. People like the sandwich. I think the sandwich is silly, but again, this is not about me. This is about knowing your audience. So the sandwich is really, really quite effective. The visual. I love the visual. The visual is kind of gets back to the friend hat. I have done this when I've been in reviews where I've said to somebody, we all know how great you are at your job, but we're going to put this aside for right now, where I'll put the review on the side, to talk about some issues we've been having. It's a visual. It's kind of like, the positive, negative, but it's a visual. I love analogies. Well, things have been really, really, really good lately. However, there's there's a million different ways to do it. Personal examples. Been in business a long time. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've got a lot of battle scars. The best way to diffuse and have a crucial conversation is to fess up to something that you've done equally as negative. And I have no issue doing it. I have no issue at this point of my career and in my life being vulnerable. I've got my battle scars. I have no issue sharing it with people. And I've done this, I always will do this in my mentoring situations. I will definitely do it in my situations within my organization. I mean, some of them have witnessed some of the mistakes, so it's easier to be vulnerable in that way. And I will actually do it within a coaching conversation, and I'll let my client know that I will give you an example from my life because I think it will help you. Because honestly, there's no point in having life experiences if you don't share it with people. If somebody can learn from something I did wrong, then hell,